Hey everybody, welcome back. This is quiz 5.3, build a triangle. So for this quiz you're going to create a function called build triangle, accepts input, blah blah blah. Definitely read all of this. And it looks like it's returning a big string, and when you log a string that has new line characters to the console, it'll look like this, pretty little triangle. Give you a make line function. Oh, that's nice. You will need to call this make line function to build. This will be the most complicated program you've written so far. Thinking through. Okay, cool. So they're suggesting that we write some pseudocode as well, and I agree. Your code goes here. Make sure you call makeline in your code. Okay. So it looks like our build triangle is going to be taking a length at the widest width of the triangle. So let's stub the function, which is to say we write the function name and parameters. So function build triangle, and it's going to take a let's say width. Sure. For the most part, the names of parameters don't really have much effect on anything besides inside of the program. So, we could call this, k if we wanted to, but it doesn't really give us much of a hint of what the parameter is, so I'm going to say width. Taking their advice, we are going to write down a list of steps. So the first would be create a string for triangle. I'm going to jump down all the way to the bottom and say return triangle string. And then here we're going to want to repeat width number of times the following instructions. The following instructions are going to be to set triangle string to itself plus make line called on current iteration. Now that might not make much sense, but what you want to picture is that if we're going to repeat something a number of times, the way that jumps to mind for us is to have a for loop go from 0 all the way to width minus 1. However, we're probably not going to go from 0 this time. We're probably going to go from 1 to width, just because the last value that we want added to our triangle will be a make line function called on width. So if we think about it, repeat width number of times. Wow, that's an awkward sentence. Set triangle string to itself plus make line called on current iteration, which makes sense, right? Because we'll call make line on 1 all the way through width, accumulating all of that in our triangle string, and then return the triangle string at the end. So that seems to be pretty much what we would need to have happen here. I'm going to start coding this out. Create a string for the triangle. We'll say variable triangle is equal to an empty string. Repeat a number of times is going to be a for loop that instead of starting from 0 is going to start from 1. And perhaps we should say something other than I. Nah, I like I. So we'll say, excuse me, for variable I is equal to, and what are we setting I equal to here? We're going to set it equal to 1 because that's the first call to make line. I is going to need to be less than or equal to our width, and I is going to increment by 1 each time. I'm going to wrap the for loop around my pseudocode so that I can keep the pseudocode kind of like one line of pseudocode per one line of code. Set triangle string to itself plus make line on current iteration. So we'll say triangle plus equals make line called on I. And I think that should be it. Return the triangle string, of course, so we'll say return triangle. And then down here it says it wants us to test our code by uncommenting this, which is an excellent idea. Looking at the code again, triangle is an empty string. We iterate over the width, up to the width, and then add make line called on an ascending number each time, which we're assigning to triangle, and then we return triangle. So build triangle on 10 for the test run should give us that nice asterisk laden tree. It does. If we hit submit answer at this point, I think we're in good shape. Excellent work. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.